Welcome to Karma Chronicles. Please like the video and subscribe. Let's begin.
I was halfway through making a grilled cheese when my phone rang. Private number, nothing unusual. I wiped my hands on my hoodie and answered. It was my uncle. "Hey kiddo," he said, way too casual for someone I hadn't heard from in weeks. "Just wanted to let you know I used that money from your truck." I stopped dead in the kitchen. "What?" "You know, the cash from that old Silverado you sold? I borrowed it. Paid off a couple debts." I leaned on the counter, staring at the pan like it was going to give me answers. "You what? That money was for my last semester." "Yeah, I figured," he said, like it was no big deal. "But you've always been good at bouncing back. You didn't really need that semester anyway." I could hear wind on his end, car doors, laughter in the background. My stomach dropped. "Where are you right now?" "Casino, just heading in with some buddies." He laughed like we were talking about football scores. "Anyway, didn't want to leave you wondering. You'll figure something out. You always do." Then he hung up. That was it. No apology. No plan to pay me back. Nothing. I stared at the screen like maybe it would ring again. It didn't. The sandwich burned. I didn't even care. I dropped into the only chair in my tiny kitchen, heart pounding so hard I felt it in my neck. Almost $18,000. Gone. My future. Gone. Just like that. Quick note. Before listening, share which city or country you're watching from. I pulled my laptop over and logged into the bank account. No way. Maybe he didn't mean all of it. But the balance said 0. I sat there shaking, trying to breathe. My leg wouldn't stop bouncing. I grabbed a pen and started scribbling on a receipt. Check account history, call the bank. Look up fraud laws, message Tara, find out if I can still get student aid. Contact my trade school advisor. My hands were sweaty, my throat was tight. I couldn't even cry yet. The anger hadn't let me. All I knew was that I'd worked for 3 years, saved every spare dollar, skipped birthdays, passed on trips, sold the only thing I owned that had any real value, and he'd just taken it, like it was his. I stood up, grabbed my keys, and headed for the bank. The banker's face said it all before she even spoke. She tapped through my account with that tight-lipped look people give when they know bad news is coming. "I'm seeing a series of withdrawals here. Daily ATM pulls. The final balance was cleared 3 days ago." I leaned in. "How much total?" She spun the screen. $17,862. All gone. I nodded slowly, jaw tight. "And you're telling me he didn't need my permission? Not even a signature?" "You opened this account when you were a minor," she said carefully. "Your uncle was your legal cosigner. That gives him equal access." I felt my stomach twist. Even though it's my money? Unfortunately, yes. I walked out of the bank with my fists clenched and a folder full of transaction printouts. My legs felt numb. I wasn't even surprised, not really, just sick. Back at the apartment, Tara was sprawled on the couch eating cereal straight from the box. I dropped the folder on the table, hard enough to startle her. "What the hell happened?" she asked. I opened the folder and laid out the withdrawal slips. "He took every last dollar," she squinted. "ATM pulls, like daily? Every day for 2 weeks. Couple $100 at a time." She stood up and stared down at the papers like they were a crime scene. "You need to go to the cops." "I can't," I said. "He was legally on the account. He didn't even have to fake my name or steal a password." "That's insane," she snapped. "You sold your truck for that money. That was your future." "Yeah, no kidding." She kept pacing. "There's gotta be something. You could report it as fraud." "It's not fraud when the bank says he had the right to be there. But it is fraud when someone tells you they're helping you save for school and then drains it for blackjack and slot machines." I stared at her. She was right. Morally, it was theft. Legally, it was a gray area soaked in gasoline. "Why didn't you take him off the account?" she asked. I shrugged. "I didn't even think about it. I turned 18 and just kept using it. Never thought I'd need protection from my own uncle." Tara sat back down, shaking her head. "I've heard of deadbeat dads. This is a whole new level." I sat across from her and flipped through the pages again. ATM receipts, withdrawal times, same locations near the casino. It was all there, proof. And the worst part? This wasn't the first time. I remembered being 9 and handing over my birthday money because he forgot to pay the power bill. At 12, I gave him my Christmas savings to help fix his car. That was a lie, too. He took it and bought a new TV. He always had some story, always had a reason. "I'll pay you back." It's just this once. You're helping family. Back then, I thought I was doing something good. I thought I was helping someone who was struggling. Now I saw it for what it was, a pattern, and I'd let it happen again, just on a bigger scale. You're not gonna let this slide, right? Tara asked. Oh, hell no. I stood up and grabbed my phone. I snapped pictures of every receipt, every line of the transaction report. Then I opened a folder on my laptop and dumped everything in. If I couldn't nail him legally, I was gonna make damn sure nobody else in the family got suckered next. Tara looked up. So what's next? I find out exactly how many lies he told. I'm not letting this end with me broke and him drinking beers at a poker table. Tara held up her cereal box. Burn his ass. I didn't smile, but I nodded. I wasn't done yet. I spent the rest of that night at my desk, phone in one hand, mouse in the other, scrolling through every old text thread I could find. I wanted to believe this was a one-time screw-up, that maybe he'd panicked and done something stupid. But I knew better. He'd always borrowed from family, always with that same tone, like he was asking for a favor, not stealing a future. Just for now, he'd say. You'll get it back, I swear. We all heard it. Me, my mom, Aunt Denise, even my grandma. Everyone had been his ATM at some point. When I was 16, I remember him asking me for money to buy tools for a drywall job. Said he'd triple it in a week. That money vanished. So did the job. And somehow, I was the ungrateful one when I brought it up later. I clicked into a saved message thread from the year I graduated high school. The first message popped up like a punch in the gut. College ain't everything. Some of us had to grow up fast. We need help at home. Think about it. A few days later, you're chasing some dream while your family's drowning. That's selfish, girl. I remembered that conversation word for word. I'd told him I was enrolling in trade school. Welding wasn't glamorous, but I liked the work, and I was good at it. He didn't care. All he saw was me stepping out from under his thumb. I found the screenshot I'd saved from 2 years back. His name right there, confirming the truck money was safe for tuition. I'll watch it for you. Nobody's gonna touch it. It's for school. I get it. Another lie. New notification. Uncle Travis. Hey, you working yet? I didn't respond. He sent another message a minute later. Heard the casino's hiring. Better pay than welding, just saying. That one made my blood boil. I stared at it for a full 10 seconds. Better pay? The man who stole my tuition money was now giving career advice? Tara walked past behind me, yawning. You're still up? Yeah? Find anything good? I turned my screen so she could see. He's trying to push me toward a damn casino job now. She frowned. Seriously? Seriously. Like the money he stole was doing me a favor. She whistled low. He never thought you'd make it. That's what this is. I knew she was right. Every message, every guilt trip, every sarcastic comment, none of it was about helping me. It was about control. If I succeeded, he lost his grip. He couldn't have that. I flipped back to one of his older texts, one that hit me harder than I expected. You think welding's some big dream? Try working a real job with real hours. This ain't fantasy camp. Back then, I read it and moved on. Now I saw it for what it was, resentment. He'd never done anything for himself, so he wanted to drag me down with him. I highlighted the whole thread, copied it, and dropped it in the digital folder labeled Receipts. I wasn't just building a case for revenge, I was building a map of every time he'd tried to hold me back. I opened another old email thread, found one from the year I first applied to school. He offered to help pay for supplies if I helped him out with a few things first. Turns out a few things meant wiring him $600 to cover back taxes. That money never came back either. I was done pretending I owed him anything. He didn't raise me. He didn't support me. He used me. I sat back and rubbed my eyes. My head was pounding, but I wasn't tired. I was wired, angry, focused. He thought he could bury me before I even got started. But every word he sent, every lie he told, it was all proof now. He didn't believe in me. Never did. And that was fine, because I didn't need him to. The next morning, I picked up the phone and called Aunt Denise. She answered on the second ring, her voice sharp like she was already braced for bad news. What's wrong? I didn't waste time. It's Travis. He stole my tuition money. All of it. Her breath caught. How much are we talking? Almost 18 grand. The truck money. Every cent's gone. Jesus Christ, she muttered. Then louder. I knew it. He's done crap like this before, but this is another level. I felt a weight shift. Finally, someone wasn't surprised. Someone knew his pattern. Wait, I said. What do you mean he's done this before? She let out a humorless laugh. You think you're the first? He drained your cousin Emily's graduation fund. Borrowed from grandma more times than she'll admit. And your mom? Don't even get me started. He's been pulling these stunts his whole damn life. I pressed the phone harder to my ear. Then why the hell did nobody warn me? Because half the family covers for him, she snapped. The other half just gives up. But not me. Send me everything. Screenshots, emails, transaction history, all of it. I didn't hesitate. I dropped the whole folder into an email and fired it off. 10 seconds later, she confirmed it landed. Legally, it's messy, she said. His name on that account muddies the water. But this isn't just theft. It's fraud. He promised that money was locked down for school. He used that to coerce you into trusting him. That's a case. I leaned back in my chair, gripping the phone. So we can actually do something? Oh, we're going to do more than something, she said. He's not skating past this one. For the first time since the call from him, I felt a flicker of relief. Maybe there was a way to nail him. That's when my other line started buzzing. Grandma. I almost ignored it, but something in my gut told me not to. Aunt Denise, hold on. I need to take this. Go, and don't you dare soften the story for her. I switched over. Hey, Grandma. Her voice was shaky but firm. I just talked to your uncle. He was acting funny. Said something about helping you out with money. What's going on? My throat tightened. She already knew something was off. This was the moment. He didn't help me, Grandma, I said. He stole it. The truck money. All of it. Silence. Then a sharp inhale. He what? Almost 18,000. It's gone. He's been pulling cash out for weeks. I heard her voice rise, angrier than I'd ever heard it. That boy's a damn thief. I knew he was up to something. I just didn't know it was this. I sat there gripping the phone, listening to my grandmother rage. It was like a storm breaking loose. He told me you didn't need school, that you dropped out by choice, she said. My chest burned. That's a lie. I sold my truck just to pay for this semester. I've been saving for years, and he drained it like it was his. I heard her slam something on her kitchen counter. He's not getting away with this. I'll call Denise tonight. She didn't need convincing. She didn't need proof. She believed me instantly, and she was furious. When the call ended, I sat back, phone still in my hand, ears ringing. The silence in my apartment felt heavier than ever, but now the secret wasn't mine to carry, it was out. And once Grandma knew, there was no taking it back. 2 days later, I pulled into Grandma's driveway and saw 5 cars already packed along the curb. She wasn't playing around. Everyone was already inside when I walked through the door. Mom, Aunt Denise, Uncle Ray, 2 cousins, even my quiet-as-hell second Aunt Lorna, who hadn't said a word at a family gathering since the Obama years. The one empty chair? Sitting dead center of the living room. Travis wasn't invited. Grandma stood in front of the fireplace, arms crossed tight. All right, she said, nodding at me. Tell them. I didn't hesitate. I opened my folder, pulled out the stack of screenshots, and laid them on the coffee table like cards in a poker game. That account was for my tuition, the truck money. He emptied it. Every withdrawal's here, every text where he promised not to touch it, and the messages after, trying to act like I should be fine with it. Mom leaned forward, her brow furrowed. Wait, I thought you dropped out. That's what he told me. I looked her dead in the eye. He lied. I sold my truck so I could finish school. He drained it behind my back and then fed you that story so you wouldn't ask questions. Her face dropped. She looked stunned, then ashamed. God, I didn't know. Aunt Denise stood and held up her own folder. I've already reviewed the account activity and the messages. We may not be able to nail him criminally, but we can hit him with civil fraud and coercion. I'll file the formal repayment demand first thing Monday. Lorna cleared her throat. He borrowed $2,000 from me last year, said it was for car repairs. Her voice cracked a little. He never paid it back. Uncle Ray grunted. He took money from my kids' birthday accounts. Told me it was a loan. He turned to Grandma. We all let him get away with too much. Grandma didn't flinch. She stepped forward and planted both hands on the back of the couch. This ends now. Travis is out of this family until he makes it right. Not $1 short. Not one more excuse. The room went still. No one argued. No one defended him. For once, everyone was on the same damn page. Mom rubbed her hands together, visibly shaken. He made me think she was the problem, my own daughter. I shook my head. It's not your fault. That's what he does. He spins it until everyone doubts what they saw with their own eyes. Aunt Denise walked over and squeezed my shoulder. You did the right thing bringing this to light. You're not alone anymore. Grandma nodded toward the kitchen. There's iced tea if anyone needs to cool off. But this stays serious. If he calls, if he shows up, you send him straight to Denise. Ray muttered. If he shows up at my house, he's getting more than legal trouble. Not helpful, Denise shot back. We do this smart. No threats. Just facts. He buried himself. Now we document every shovel of dirt. I looked around the room. The same living room where I used to sit on the floor during Christmas, surrounded by cousins and noise and chaos. Now it was tense and quiet, like the whole house had finally exhaled. For the first time, I wasn't the kid no one believed. I wasn't just the niece or the quiet one. I had proof, I had support, and I had momentum. I grabbed the last sheet from my folder and placed it on the pile. That's everything I've got so far, Grandma nodded. Good, we're not hiding this. Not anymore. I barely made it back to my apartment before my phone lit up. Uncle Travis, I didn't answer. Let it ring twice, go to voicemail. He called again. This time I picked up, only because I wanted to hear what kind of crap he'd try next. Hey, he said, sounding all fake soft. I just got off the phone with Grandma. She seemed, I don't know, cold, like real cold. What's going on? I didn't even flinch. She knows. Everyone does. He went quiet for a second, then came the fake chuckle. Knows what? That I helped you out? I wasn't giving him room to squirm. That you stole the money, that you lied, that you emptied my account after promising you wouldn't touch it. You're making this into something it's not, he snapped, his voice sharpening. It's family money. You wouldn't have even had that account if I didn't help you open it when you were 17. I cut him off. From now on, don't talk to me. If you have something to say, go through Aunt Denise. He snorted. Oh, of course, the paralegal. You think she's going to fix this with her little notebook and attitude? I know she is, and you're not talking your way out of it this time. I hung up. He texted 5 minutes later. You're blowing this out of proportion. We've always looked out for each other. You're ruining your own family. I did it for us. I screenshotted every line and dropped them into the folder. At this point, it was thick enough to make a judge blink. 3 hours later, Grandma called me, huffing through the phone like she'd just come back from war. He showed up here, she said. Had the damn nerve to act like he didn't understand why everyone was mad. What'd you do? I told him to get off my porch before I called the police. He said I was being emotional, she snorted. I told him emotional was me not throwing a shoe at his lying face. I nearly laughed, but the truth was I felt wired all over again. He was escalating, showing up unannounced, gaslighting people in person now. I added the porch incident to the timeline and sent it to Denise. She replied with one line, Good, keep it coming. We're building a fireproof case. Next day, I was in line at the grocery store when I got a DM from my cousin Olivia. She's 16, sweet, naive, never been part of the family drama. Hey, Uncle Travis texted me, said he's in a tight spot, asked if I could loan him a couple hundred until next week. Should I? I stared at my phone, blood rushing straight to my face. I called her immediately. Liv, no, do not send him anything. He's lying. He's been doing this to all of us. She went quiet. Really? Really? He stole almost 18 grand from me, lied about it. And now that we've shut him down, he's coming for you. You can't trust him. There was a pause. Wow, I thought, I don't know, he's always been nice to me. That's how he works, I said. He's nice until he's got what he wants. Then he disappears. I won't send him anything. I promise. As soon as we hung up, I screenshotted the message and sent it to Denise. She didn't reply right away, but a couple hours later, she updated the case file and sent a group message to the family chat. Travis has now attempted to solicit money from a minor. This is documented. Do not respond to him directly. I felt something shift right then. We weren't just reacting anymore. We were ahead of him, blocking his moves before he made them. Every attempt he made to manipulate someone was backfiring in real time. That night, he texted me again. One line this time. Hope you're happy, tearing your whole family apart. I didn't reply. I just saved the message, added it to the log, and poured myself a drink. He thought he could keep playing the same game, but we'd already flipped the board. The next Monday, Aunt Denise sent the demand letter. She copied me and Grandma on the email. The subject line was plain but sharp. Repayment demand, civil fraud, coercion. Inside was 2 pages of legal language that basically boiled down to this: pay back every dime or face civil action. He had 10 business days, no wiggle room. I read it twice, then a third time, and felt something solid click into place. This wasn't just family drama anymore, it was legal. It was real. Not even an hour later, he blew up my phone. "You think you can sick lawyers on me? I'm broke. I don't have it." I didn't answer. He left a voicemail, his tone swinging between pathetic and angry. "You're killing me here. You know I don't got 18 grand lying around. What do you want me to do? Pull it out of thin air?" Denise's response in the family chat was cold as steel. If he's broke, he shouldn't have gone to Vegas last month, nor bought a brand new four-wheeler 2 weeks ago. Receipts attached. She wasn't bluffing. She'd already pulled his public spending records, screenshots of his tagged photos at a Vegas pool party, proof of the ATV purchase posted on Facebook. He couldn't even deny it. The chat blew up. Cousins started chiming in, one after another. He borrowed from my son's birthday envelope last summer. Said he'd replace it. He told me his rent was late and begged for $200. Guess what? I never saw it again. He hit me up for cash at Thanksgiving. I thought it was just me. It was like a damn floodgate bursting. Story after story, all the same theme. Travis lied, borrowed, and disappeared. Mom finally spoke up in the group. "I'm done covering for him. I'm done defending him. I'm filing for divorce." Her words froze the whole chat for a good 5 minutes. No one typed. Then Denise broke the silence. "Good. He's not your responsibility. Never was." I sat back in my chair, staring at Mom's message. She was divorcing her second husband, Travis's stepbrother. The toxicity, the lies, all of it tied back into the same knot. She was cutting the cord. Later that night, my cousin Ethan texted me privately. "Thanks for the warning. I locked my college fund today. Moved it to a new account under Mom's name only. He's not getting near it." "Smart," I wrote back. "Don't trust him with a nickel." The family lines were shifting. For once, not in his favor. Meanwhile, I still had a future to claw back. I wasn't going to let his theft derail everything. I emailed one of my instructors, explained I was scrambling, and asked if there were any apprenticeship spots open, even unpaid. He called me the next day. "I heard what happened. Don't worry about unpaid. I've got a contact at a fabrication shop that needs someone now. I'll put your name at the top of the list." My chest tightened. "Seriously? You'd do that? Kid, you've earned it. You've got the skill. Don't let someone else's mistake bury you." 2 interviews later, I had it. A paid apprenticeship. Not a handout, not pity. Work. Real, steady work. When I told Tara, she jumped off the couch and hugged me so hard I almost dropped my phone. "Hell yes! See? He couldn't stop you if he tried." I thought about sending Travis the good news, just to twist the knife. But no, better to let him stew. The silence would sting worse than anything I could say. Back in the family chat, Denise gave one final reminder. "We're not just asking anymore. We're demanding. He has a deadline. If he fails, we file." No one argued. Not this time. For once, the whole family stood on the same side of the line. And Travis was the one on the outside. It didn't take long for the story to leak outside the family. One of my cousins told her friend from church, who told her mom, who told the pastor's wife. Within a week, Travis's name was being passed around in whispers at Sunday service like he was a prayer request gone wrong. Turns out it wasn't just family. He'd borrowed from people at church too, said he needed help with a home renovation fund. Claimed he was building an addition for his aging mom. What he was really building was a weekend gambling habit and a garage full of toys. I got a message from some guy named Jim who said, "I gave him $500 last year to fix a leaky roof." Haven't heard from him since. Another from a retired woman who said she lent him cash for tools, thinking he was picking up trade work. People were pissed. Nobody likes feeling scammed, especially not by someone who shook their hand and called them family. Meanwhile, I was gearing up for my certification ceremony. The trade school was hosting it at the community center, and even though I wasn't big on spotlight moments, I'd earned this one. Every weld, every exam, every weekend shift, I'd pushed through it all. I didn't tell many people I was walking, just Mom, Tara, Grandma, and Aunt Denise. I didn't need a crowd. I needed closure. So when I walked in and saw him standing near the check-in table, grinning like a proud uncle, I froze. He was dressed like he thought it was Sunday brunch. Collared shirt, sunglasses on his head, that fake-ass, "I'm here for you" energy all over his face. Tara grabbed my elbow. Is that? Yeah? What the hell is he doing here? Trying to play hero again. I saw Aunt Denise cut through the hallway like a heat-seeking missile. She didn't say a word to him, just walked straight to the event organizer, flashed her paralegal badge, and nodded toward Travis. 2 minutes later, he was being escorted out. He didn't even fight it, just shrugged and acted confused, like he was the victim. I didn't even have time to breathe before my name was called. Walked the stage, shook hands, accepted my certificate. The room clapped, and I stood there knowing he saw none of it. Good. He didn't get to claim this. He didn't get to smile for pictures or act like he helped me get here. A month later, the court accepted the documentation Denise filed. Travis was put on a structured repayment plan under civil order. On top of that, he was flagged for financial monitoring. Any large purchases or transfers had to be pre-cleared. He tried to argue, claimed harassment, said the family was bullying him. The judge didn't care. He lied, manipulated, and stole. The receipts didn't lie. While all that played out, I signed a lease on a small but solid one-bedroom apartment just 15 minutes from the fabrication shop where I'd landed full-time work. First day on the job, my supervisor walked me through the floor. Clean lines, humming machines, steel, and grit everywhere. It smelled like heat and oil and fresh beginnings. You got the skills, he said. Glad we scooped you up. I nodded. Me too. Every part of this, I'd done without help. No safety net, no handouts. Nothing from him. That was the point. I bought my own tools, got my own place, paid my own rent. I still packed lunches, still watched gas prices, still skipped dinners out. But it was mine. All of it. I wasn't waiting on someone to rescue me, and sure as hell wasn't handing credit to the man who tried to break me before I even had a shot. I thought the silence would last after the court slapped him with a payment plan. It didn't. A week after I moved into the new place, the first letter showed up. Handwritten, full of fake warmth and lazy guilt. We're still family. You should forgive by now. Everyone makes mistakes. He didn't mention the money. Not once. Not the lies. Not the fact that I had to sell my truck and rebuild my future from nothing. Just a whole page of, let's move on. I didn't answer. I filed it with the rest. The texts followed. I was just trying to help. You've always been like a daughter to me. I miss my girl. Every word felt like bait, like he was trying to pull me back into his version of reality. I didn't bite. I didn't block him either. I wanted a full record. Then I saw it, a Facebook post, public. Picture of me from my trade school ceremony, smiling on stage. Captioned, so proud of my girl making it big. She's gonna do amazing things, but our family first. I reported it immediately. The photo was mine, not his. It got pulled down in under an hour, but the damage was done. People were commenting. Some of them didn't know what had happened. They thought he'd supported me, that he was the proud uncle who got me through hard times. I dropped the screenshots into the family group chat and didn't hold back. He's using my name to save face. Again. Aunt Denise responded fast. Handled. Also. New plan. I'm setting up a monitoring system for the younger cousins. No more private accounts. No more solo deals with Travis. Anyone under 21 gets run through me. Grandma chimed in next. About damn time. He's not getting near the next generation. She meant it too. 2 days later, she boarded a plane. Her first trip out of state in over 10 years, and showed up at my apartment with a carry-on and a look that said she wasn't there for sightseeing. Wanted to see it for myself, she said, stepping inside. I gave her the tour. Kitchen, bedroom, toolbox in the corner, framed certificate on the wall. She touched everything like it was fragile and important. She sat down at my table and looked around. You did this without him. Exactly, I said. She nodded once, slow and proud. He thought he was the center of this family. He forgot we raise fighters, not beggars. We spent the weekend eating takeout, watching crime shows, and going over budget spreadsheets like it was a game. She even asked to see my work boots, said she wanted to brag about them when she got home. Before she left, she squeezed my hand. You're not the girl he tried to ruin. You're the woman who made him irrelevant. I didn't cry, but it stuck with me. He could keep pushing all he wanted. I wasn't moving. The last check showed up in a plain white envelope. No return address, no handwriting, just a printed label and a cold, clean stamp. I opened it at the kitchen counter after work, still in my boots, keys barely tossed down. The check was for $613. Final balance, paid in full. Tucked inside was a sticky note, short, like he couldn't be bothered to write more than the bare minimum. Now can we be a family again? I stared at it for a second, not angry, not even surprised. Just done. I filed the check and the note into the same folder I'd been building for a year and a half, labeled Evidence. The folder didn't need to stay open anymore, but I kept it. Not because I needed revenge, just proof of how far I'd come without him. The next day, my supervisor called me into the office, sat me down, and slid a paper across the desk. Full-time welder, new title, new pay. You earned it. I didn't smile right away. I just nodded and signed. I called Mom later that night, told her about the promotion and the final check in the same breath. She let out a long sigh, like she'd been holding it in for months. He thought taking your money would keep you stuck, she said, but it freed you instead. She wasn't wrong. I moved into a bigger apartment 2 weeks later. Clean floors, working heat, a space just for my tools. I didn't need luxury. I just needed a place that was mine. Paid for by me, built by me, not borrowed from anyone who'd try to take credit later. He still tried to call. Every couple weeks, like clockwork. Always late at night. I never answered. Word got around that he'd been telling people he helped me get there. That he stepped in when nobody else would. But nobody believes him anymore. Not after everything. Not with Grandma telling the real story at every church dinner. Not with Denise sharing cautionary tales like a damn family lawyer on a mission. And not with me standing where I am now. Steady, working, free. He paid the money back, but he'll never get a second of me again.